My video for June the 6th, 2019 is video number 3108. The title is Neither Right Nor Left. Love is Moderate. How many times do I need to say it before my friends on both sides of the great political divide understand? On some things, like the border wall, I am considered a conservative. When it comes to not trusting Donald Trump, I am called a liberal. Even in religion, people tend to mislabel me. I can't be a real Christian, some say, unless I believe Jesus is the only way. Even my Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist friends seem to want to put me into some box, or in some box. I try my best to avoid all such boxes. I'd like to be able to build bridges and expose these fake walls of separation that only serve the agenda of those whose goal is to dominate by dividing and thereby conquering the masses. They are very good at it, sadly. I'd like to hold both Jesus and Buddha up as proponents of the middle way. To me, they were very moderate and loving. They often identified with the outcasts. The holier-than-thou Pharisees were called a generation of vipers. Division has always been their game plan. Just look at the world. I wrote a blurb yesterday and made my recording, and then I changed it later in the day, as those of you that watched the previous video will recognize by what I said. But I'm hoping that this one actually goes up. Nothing happens that makes me shift and want to add or change what I'm saying. It really didn't change anything. I just added to what I had previously recorded. Anyway, I get caught in this dilemma all the time by people trying to label me one way or another. Again, about the border wall. Yes, I support the border wall. That's not a conservative thing, though it's by the liberals, it is considered a conservative thing. The liberals want to allow anybody to just pour over the border and not go through any channels of becoming actual citizens or even registered legal, lawful aliens that are living in the United States. That's common sense to me. But of course, to liberals, I'm really, really bad because I support the border wall. All right. And there goes a train by. Anyway, I'm just going to ignore it and keep going. But then I have friends that are very much Donald Trump supporters. And one of my longtime friends, said that I'm a liberal, and he feels sorry for me that I've bought into the liberal propaganda. As I replied in one of his comments, I like David Icke, and I like others, David Wilcox, and others that present different ideas. I don't always agree with all of them and everything, but I agree with a lot of what they're saying. To me, they come across as moderates that are trying to present the dichotomy between the fake paradigm of us versus them. That's a fake paradigm. I'm not an us and I'm not a them. I'm a me. And you are a you. And if we don't learn to listen, we will never be able to love one another. And when I say listen, I don't mean agree with. I mean hear what the other person is saying. Their perspective is developed by the things that they've experienced, the things that they've been taught, But one of the things that all of us have been taught is an egocentric perception that your thought pattern, you're the way that you see things, that's the right way. And those that see it some way else, some other way, they are wrong. And whenever you get into that, you never can love. You can never fulfill what the Buddha and what Jesus taught. You can never appreciate the middle ground because you continuously choose to live in polarized territory. Now, again, this idea of what does polarized mean? Natural polarities exist. There are male and female, dark and light, up and down, in and out. These are just natural things, okay? In the physical world that we live in as human beings, they are natural things. Polarization is when the males start fighting the females or vice versa, where the dark somehow wages war against the light, where up and down clash. Even saying it to me, I chuckle because it sounds so insane. But that's what polarization is. It's insanity. It is not an us versus them game. It's a game not of competition, but of cooperation. It's a lifestyle of trying, as I do, to build bridges. And believe me, when people are trying to maintain their walls, bridges seem like a terrible threat. Whichever side of the bridge they are on, they think their side is the right side, even if it's on the left. And there can be no middle ground when you hold to either extreme. Therefore, you cannot love if you hold one viewpoint as superior to the other. Love is the superior viewpoint. Not loving is the inferior viewpoint. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. And if you only love those that think the way you do, you are just like everybody else. You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. Paraphrasing, of course, what Jesus said. And I wish I knew more about the Buddha. I haven't read many books about the Buddha. I've read Hindu stuff, but I haven't really read much Buddhist stuff, although I've been part of Buddhist meetings and gone to, different groups that are Buddhist oriented. But even Buddhists in some places of the world are not the peaceful people that they portray themselves as in Western society. What's the answer? How do we rise above the conflagration and the constant warfare and get out of the mentality of an us versus them mindset that creates continual conflict and never experiences peace? Peace is not profitable. Do we not see that yet? Can we not understand that the same people support both sides in war because they make money both destroying and rebuilding? And it's not a money game, folks. It's bigger than that. It's more than that. Let's not miss the boat again. Let's take the opportunity to come together, to listen, to learn to love. We can do it, but we have to see that as the goal, loving and connecting. Thank you for listening, and namaste.